Oh, it's recording. Okay, Haley here, and this is the mom of the shoot we're going to be looking at, and this is Kate. Katie. Is it Kate or Katie?
Either one. Tom calls me Katie, other people call me Kate.
Okay, cool. So we can just call her Kate. So we are going to go through this session, and this is the first time actually she's seeing majority of her images, and I wanted her to get a natural reaction, and I also wanted to break down like what I remember of posing on my end and what I was going into the session with, and then to hear like, oh yeah, well we took it as this, or this is how we processed that moment. So actually I didn't edit like those two, so you can like skip over those.
Okay.
And there goes Lola. Lola's chiming in. Oh my gosh. Yes, she's at the door. Lola! Okay. Should we? Okay, here we go, real life. Okay, and I think I use that quote a lot, is like real life. And I feel like that is kind of what your session really was real life.
100%.
100%.
Yes.
So you did mention whenever we arrived that your husband was more, he was expecting a sit and smile and cheese. Mm-hmm. Did you not prep him?
I did not. No, I probably should have. But any session we had done in the past was always the come, sit, smile, look at our perfect family. So that's what he was expecting.
Yeah. Yes. I remember him like pulling the kids off to the side, like, I don't know what he said, but he just pulled them off and was telling them like they need to behave, right? Mm-hmm. Was he saying something like that?
Yeah.
Just behave
here, do what you're supposed to do.
And I feel like they kind of did the opposite of that.
Yeah. The whole thing. Well, I told you the beach is like our happy place, and they just feel so free there.
Yeah.
But it's hard to.
I'll get him a look closer.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so this is the first kind of shot that I got, and that was me just getting my lighting. That sun was really, really bright. So this was just kind of figuring out where the sun and what I needed to do my settings at. And this is, I think you maybe started to already prep Levi.
Maybe.
With some conversations here.
Look at his smile. He's on.
Oh, yeah. He was totally for the camera. And then I think we moved kind of right into this pose where you, since you were already kneeling down here, I had said for the kids to come over and give you a hug, right? Give mom a hug.
Yeah.
Okay. Did that feel weird having the three kids? Because come tackle you? Is this like norm?
That is my position daily. Like, this is where you'll find me 90% of the time. So this was very natural for us.
Oh, I love it so much. So my direction then, like I love the kids, but then I needed you to turn around. So this is kind of where we started to get you.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Turning, and they're still all on top of you. Oh.
There's the one shot, though.
Yeah, that's in here. We're getting there. So you're turning, and then that's
there it is.
You start kissing. So I don't think I prompted you to do this. Mm-hmm. You just loved on Levi.
Yeah.
And then Brock squeezing you.
Mm-hmm. Look at his face.
But I love how you were just like dragging like Lila, like make sure she was in that. Because she's like, oh my God, Mom, I'm here. What is she even holding? Was she holding a rock?
I think she had a black rock.
Black rock. Mm-hmm. And then... then they started tumbling you over?
Yes. Did I end up falling after this? I can't remember. But, yeah, those are my boys right there. Just rough, and that perfectly captures them.
I love it so much. And I do want to ask you a question. Whenever some of the shots I get are kind of blurry, does that bother you? Because you're not a photographer. You're just a client. Does that bother you getting blurry images? Do you even think about that? Or
I wouldn't have even thought about that.
That you were blurred out a little bit in the shot? Okay.
Yeah. No.
That's awesome. And then Dad's holding Huxley.
Uh-huh.
And look at his eyes are truly that color. It is. His eyes are intense. It's not an edit. Those are his eyes. So poor Huxley was just kind of being held.
Yeah, my doctor calls him a go baby because he just goes where we go. And I feel like the shoot also, he was never the central part of it, right? It was all just like the chaos of us. And so again, it just represents our family so well because he is just along for the ride.
He truly was. And I think I had asked you to come into this moment with him because I did see Dad kind of stand there. We got the three older kids, and then Dad and Huxley were just kind of like standing to the side going, okay. Just watching you and enjoying. So then I brought you in, and then we had these moments with Huxley, and you were just loving on him.
Yes.
And then
he's also just snuggly and delicious.
Look at him, look at Tom.
All our kids love.
Oh,
All our kids just love their dad so much.
look at him. Oh my goodness. So cute. And then I think I ended up. Oh, look at that smile. He's how old here?
He's 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, he was smiling.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so one of your kids was throwing sand. If you see
Is
that's
what that is?
That's sand. That's sand coming. I don't know if it hit you. I think at one point you were covered in sand on your face.
I think so. Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to keep this in there because it was so cool. It's not crisp or anything. I think it maybe captured his hand, which was so sweet. But I love this addition of the...
It does. I mean, and it looks like golden, even,
yes.
With the sun coming through.
But you like it?
Okay.
Because again, I think a lot of people struggle with that's not a crisp shot, or that has these imperfections in it. But I think as someone who's not a photographer, you just are hopefully just feeling that emotion of what we captured.
Just the moment there, yeah.
And I think there's a picture of him. He got a good. I think this might have been it.
A good chunk of dad.
Does he do that often?
Yes, he grabs everything.
Oh my goodness.
So the poor kids, his poor big brothers and sister, they're like, Mom, because he'll have their hair.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him grab that.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, cute baby. It's so cute.
I don't know if I knew that was happening.
I think there's a shot, because my camera kind of put these out of order depending on what lens I was using.
Mm-hmm.
There was, maybe I'll go back to it, maybe not, of you two looking at each other. And that's when I think I had asked you guys to look at each other, because I do always use that quote, you two came first.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that might be difficult, just this season of life with 4 kids, right? There's 4 in there. Yeah. Do you ever number them off?
Yeah.
But to lose the 2 of you, and remember that you two came first. So I don't know if maybe I flagged it a different number, but I do. There is one of you two looking at each other.
There definitely is. I think I've seen it.
And then the Breck just kind of come up on us and hug. Did I prompt him to come run and give hugs?
Maybe this was because there was a couple times, because then I think I see Lila joining in too. I think
he did.
Mm-hmm.
I think because they were up on the hill playing,
yes.
and this was a way to bring them back into the shoot and just run and give hugs and squeezes.
Yes.
So they come running up. I love this part of your dress right here. And I love that. Look at Levi. He was all about the camera.
He was.
But every time I see them now on the road, they know it's me.
Anytime we're out and we see a black car, Miss Haye, Miss Haye, that's what they say.
Oh, I'm gonna miss them so much. Maybe we're going back to. So it did go back to this moment. Okay. So this was just a pullback shot. So the other ones were shot. I was at 52. So this is me squatting down. I think I had. Do you remember my position a lot? Was I lower? Probably weren't paying attention.
I do remember you squatting down a lot
to block that sun.
Mm-hmm.
But the sun creates a really pretty halo on you guys. Yeah. Can you do that? So there comes Breck again. Right. And I love. Oh, look at you. I don't know what you're gonna do with all these. Oh, look at your family. I'm still pissed we didn't get him to take off his shirt.
I can't believe we forgot that.
And me.
And I remember that right afterward too. We were like, the shirt.
No, I think we were so busy trying to keep your kids.
I think so too. It was still chaotic.
Yeah.
But it turns into this, and it really does capture the moment.
So I had them line up because for them, I felt like if I kept doing games with them, I would have the best response. Listen to me, because you do a lot of games with your kids.
Yes.
So I feel like if we're doing a game, they're in it, and they're going to be competitive, and they're going to do their best to be part of this.
Yeah, and I think that was when they honestly did the best, but it was still natural. So it wasn't posed. It was, if you wanted them looking a certain direction, it was like, oh, let's see if we can find a shark in the water. Or
I can't wait to talk about the stories.
Yeah.
And your husband's British accent.
I know, Scottish. What was that? I don't know.
I was really taken back by what just happened?
Yeah.
We just transported. So this is you guys kind of sneaking up on them and getting them. Awesome. So I think, who had baby? Aww. Dad had baby.
Along for the ride right now.
He's what is
and
that?
all those baby rolls.
He's so chunky. Well, look at her smile. And then this two, you guys over here too.
Just having fun.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
So
The suspenders.
this is what this is Dad making sure Levi didn't go anywhere.
That's, I mean, again, pretty accurate. You just gotta grab what you can on that kid. Or else he's off.
I can't. Oh man, I can't wait for you to have stories of this later in life. Of like Levi. This is what you did during family pictures. We had to grab you. You're around for her,
and we have it now documented.
I think it gets better. So I think you started giving him a piggyback ride, and
yes, I remember you asking if Brecken could give Levi a piggyback ride, but the boys had never done that.
They had never done that before.
So this was their first attempt.
Let's see how it goes. So we start, I think, really squeezing
with the choke out.
Yeah. not quite. You're just
Mom
like
laughing in the background.
Dad's got 4 kids over here.
See, but we're usually reversed. It's usually me with the 4. So like,
this was fun for you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and I think it gets like poor Breck.
But what a champ! He just.
Oh, he proved like his character in this shoot. There we go.
That's so cute.
It's cute though, right?
It is.
And Levi is just grin and like, look at him.
Gosh, he just knows he's trouble.
Oh, you just loving on him. Oh, this is where the fun begins. So I'm like, oh, let's bring you all together.
Oh, that's it. So this is when. Do you remember he was supposed to be on Tom's back?
Yeah.
For this. And he kept flipping backwards off Tom's back. And this is a crazy shot because it honestly, like I said before, represents our family dynamic perfectly. But, like, this was an accident. This shot happened.
All of these frames are about this show. Because he did it, like, 3 different times. Like, no. Yes. But, you know, I have a lot of pictures of kids on Dad's backs. And generally, they just, like, hug on the dad. And as soon as you put Levi on Dad's back, he's like, boom!
Yes.
Backflip. So we got I got this one shot.
And you can see the sand flying up from Brecken riding.
Yeah, it was, I love this so much because I feel like when I post images, they're like, oh, how do you get such, like, perfectly listened kids? And I'm like, no, like, my shots do come from this chaos, this fun. And
yeah, it is not I mean, there's posing to a certain extent, but for the most part, it's just fun.
See, it did backtrack over here. But this was, I think, we're going to end up seeing the perfect shot. I think totally represents your family. Breck sitting in the front.
Yes.
Levi hanging upside down. Lila just clinging to you, and then Huxley just there.
Just hanging out.
What do we have next?
Very good.
I mean, they were so sandy and just...
Oh my gosh. From the moment we walked on the beach.
The moment.
They were... Yeah.
Okay, so
that's
here...
the one.
I don't know why this is going out of order, but yes, I just loved you being engulfed and baby and husband. I swore I had asked you to look up at him. Oh, look at us.
Oh, there it is. And we're both looking up at him.
Both.
Yeah.
I mean, if that can't make a man proud right there.
Yeah.
You need to see that
one.
He
does need to see that one. Oh, that smile.
I need to see him again. That he's changed just so much within these few weeks.
Yeah.
Look at that. So pretty. So then we decided to move locations. The kids just needed to move.
I love that.
This shot? Yeah. And I love it because your head's cut off.
Yeah. I mean, again, like, it's just the reality of the situation. My head usually is cut off. I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. There you go.
So accurate. Look, Dad trying to wrangle. Look, you got wrangle up Levi. This is like a perfectly like uncomposed shot. Like this is like so everything I probably would never deliver to a client. But knowing you and your family, like I think this needs to be in your gallery.
I'm with it. I'm here for that.
And then, after this, we climbed up, and here we go. So then there was like another photo shoot going on over here.
Yes. Is this those moments at the
top of
the hill?
So they were so intrigued by what was going on over there. And this was probably a lot of like, Levi, come here.
Because, yeah, he was watching the other photo shoot, trying to join that family.
I don't know why this is going out of order, but so this shot, before we went up to that little hill, I had them running around you just so they could stay in the vicinity.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, if you have your hand kind of reaching Mom, at least you're going to be in that same circle. But what ended up happening is it kept pulling down your skirt.
Is that what I'm doing there? Yes. That's right.
You're like, oh, my skirt's so cute. My skirt's pulling. Yeah, I think there might be even a shot of Levi holding onto your skirt.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Is it this one? Yeah, one of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
There goes your skirt. Yeah. So then, go ahead.
Well, it's the elastic waistband too. So I was worried I was going to lose it. Lose my skirt.
Yeah. So some games can not be in your favor, and I never even thought about them like yanking your skirt as they were running around.
Mm-hmm.
This is really like, and this all that we've shown is probably within the first like 10, 15 minutes
I
of
think
the
so. Yeah.
It was like,
we're still down in that sandy
yeah,
area.
this was from the get-go of just chaos, but this is like our job as photographers to like find where that connection in the chaos is and getting our angles right. So I was really like down low a lot to just kind of get this like bigger than life kind of feeling.
Top of the mountain.
Yes. And then you guys kind of came together, and I believe we started to tell a story about a shark or dolphin in the water.
Was this? I don't know if that was this one. Was he? Or maybe Brett or Tom was telling a story about. He tells the kids spooky stories.
That was at the top. This one, I think I had Breck tell the story.
Okay.
Right? Of like, what would happen if the pirate came or someone came and kidnapped your brother?
Yes, and he was talking all about what he would do.
Yes, like how would you be the savior?
And the twins are always intrigued when Brecken tells a story.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Aww. Levi got some great shots.
He's front and center there.
So this is, I just needed you guys to get together in an area. And this was kind of just, okay, gather. Now we're backtracking. We're kind of working up to that moment.
Yes.
There. Look at this kid. Oh.
Just upside down.
Just upside down.
That's him.
I love it. And I think this is one is current your Facebook
yes,
profile.
It is, because it is us to a T.
Look how perfect the firstborn is.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy middle child. Is he older than Lila?
He's actually younger by 2 minutes.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. But I mean, he's still technically in the middle there.
He acts like a middle child.
He does. He is such a good
And look at Breck coming to Levi.
Oh. Yeah, brother moment there.
That was awesome. So back up to the hill, we had to get Levi in your lap. And I'm telling you, as crazy as Levi was, he owned that camera.
Somehow.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't expect it.
No, because I really didn't think he was even there.
Mm-hmm. He's off doing his own thing.
I swear we had to wrangle him in so many times. Oh, there were so many great moments here. Oh, hugging brother. Mm-hmm. I love this one, Lila. I don't know what it is.
It's the hands in the hair. 100%. Just that, like, messy.
Is that the first thing you saw when you saw this image? These few are some of my favorites. It's just as far as editing goes too. I'm very trying to put brightness. It's great. Because he started to hug you guys really tight.
Oh my god. Look at Lila. You can't tell. Is she smiling? Is she happy? I don't know.
Because you're sitting there, you're just like, I'm just hugging my kids. I have no idea what's happening. So at this point, now we're kind of getting closer to halfway through the session. What is your thoughts? Because it's kind of been chaotic, trying to find Levi. You've got all these children. What are your thoughts? Do you remember, were you thinking, this is amazing, this is going so well?
I don't know if I was really thinking about how well it was going, but the words, this is amazing, were definitely going through my head because it was just fun.
It was just fun.
It was just fun. And I think...
Well, you've shot with me before, so you kind of know that I capture these in between.
Yes.
But your husband has not.
Right. And so I think that's why I had to kind of prep him at the very beginning and say, look, this is just how it goes. This is how it goes with Haley.
When you got back in the car, though, was he like, oh my god, none of those are going to come out?
No.
No? Yeah.
No.
He was like, that's going to be great?
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah. He was not
That's funny.
At all worry about it.
Was he mad that he didn't get to lose his shirt?
No.
He wasn't mad?
I don't think he was mad about it, but he would have done it.
But he was working up for that moment. So that's probably what was going in his head. He's like, what is she going to do?
He was doing some prep work for that ahead of time.
Dang it. I can't believe it. And of all the shirts, I always make guys lose their shirts.
Yeah. Because I have some skin showing. That would have been nice.
Yeah, I cannot. And not just me, you forgot too.
Oh, I did too. Yeah, I take part in that.
On with Breck's
Just
face.
as much meat.
That was a real hug with you.
Mhm.
And then I loved this shot of Lila.
Oh my gosh. That is perfect. Just her
Right?
looking right on the camera.
Yeah.
And
I've like really tried to switch my gears too of like looking at the camera shots because I think for me I love my eyes and I feel like my most recent photo shoots that I've done like the past couple of years, you know, been always like candid, not looking at the camera. I'm like, you know what,
Right.
none of them have pictures of my eyes.
True.
You know?
Well, I saw a picture of you recently, one of your beach shots, and you were right on, and it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah, that was by Stormy. And
That's
I'm
a good point.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, wow, like, because I think we did like a couple before that. And I'm like, you know what? None of them ever showed really like the color of my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm gonna show these suckers off.
And especially with my kids, they all have those big blue eyes,
bright blue eyes. My nose is red. That's what I do
that.
And I love that shot. So still, and then I think we started. Then I had you get up, start moving, and again, movement is kind of my key with all this. This is gonna again go back and forth, but then I think this is where stories. We started to do stories between these.
Probably, it looks like maybe Brecken was talking in that one. Yeah,
your hair's crazy, but I love it.
That wind was insane.
It was so good, man. I was just happy that we got you all together.
All our heads are there.
All the heads are there. The girls of the family right there. So that was the top of this dune, but because we're here and then we moved to the top. But we did tell stories, and I believe we had asked him to talk about a story of like pirate adventure or saving brothers, and he did a really good job.
Yeah, he has practice with that.
Because of Tom. Tom's Irish, Scottish accent.
He is Irish.
Is he? But
I mean, yeah, like not 100%.
I'm Irish. I don't go around talking. As much as I want to, I feel like if I was ever like go visit Ireland, I would probably totally come back with an accent.
That's how I feel about England.
That you would too?
If I were to go there, I'd come back just
with an accent.
British.
Oh, I love this shot.
That one is amazing. See, now this might, or maybe it's not where the sharks. We were talking about the sharks, because just Tom's looking out.
Oh, I think we started.
But at some point, we're talking about dorsal fins in the water.
And then, here we go. So, Boogie Story by Tom was up here.
I was laughing at it.
Look at her face. I just love how they look at their dad.
I know. So funny. This is the one I've seen.
So, yes. Yeah.
She
She was so excited. And then I think Levi went back to sit in the...
Oh my God.
I know.
I love that.
Like, these shots are just so important. So I think I was, like, down low shooting, like, that whole of the family. He moved, and I just kind of, like, crawled up the bush real quick, and I got those shots. And I just think it's just going to fill up a beautiful gallery and album. And then the wind.
I love Brecken in that picture.
It looks like he's so grown. He's growing. I loved you and Baby back here. That's where I was really drawn to that image.
Yeah, that one.
And because Levi's got his hands in his pants.
Down his overalls.
Look at you two playing up here. Dad's telling the stories. Oh.
Boys versus girls.
So many great shots.
Which, this is our dynamic a lot, too, I feel like. It's
You
Lila
and
and
I?
I.
Really?
And then the boys.
Boys and Huxley.
Yeah.
I'm so curious what his personality is going to be.
I know.
And I love all this wind because by the end, your hair looked so beachy.
Yes.
And you're like, I feel like a mess. Like, no, you look fantastic.
I was telling you, I was like, I'm so glad I didn't put that much time into my hair for this shoot because I kind of knew this was going to happen. And
yeah, look at your hair.
It's all over.
All over. But I'm telling you, wait till you see, like, whenever we crossed over the little creek, how, like, cool and beachy your hair.
Which is an interesting story in and of itself.
Yep. I think I saved one of those images. Oh, look at two girls loving on Daddy right there. That sun came out to play.
It was perfect, yeah.
I love these Lila too. Same bush.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And the colors there. Oh, see, it's the hand and the hair there.
She knows how to work it.
I haven't let her get a haircut yet because I'm worried her curls are going to go away.
Well, her curls kind of start at the top.
Yeah.
It's generally when the curls are just at the bottom that they kind of go away. Oh, here we go. So we had to cut this, and this is like the shallow side. This went up, literally.
It
up
did. Once the tide came in even more.
Yeah.
Look at the lady there just watching.
She enjoyed this so much. I think when we got back across, she's like, that was better than watching the sunset.
She did say that, yeah.
She was just watching the shoot.
I didn't even notice this guy ever, though.
I never noticed him.
Fishing pole? Like, where did he come from?
I don't know.
I never saw him.
Never saw him. It's funny because I said the same thing when I was editing these pictures. Like, oh, somebody crossed the same time we did?
Yeah, we were just so caught up in this.
Yeah, because I wish I would have got him in the middle of it because it really did come up to here on him. All right, I think this is backtrack. So we were still kind of up the top of that. I think I got in up there at the top of you, baby. Oh, his rolls.
They are, yeah.
So we made it across the high tide, and I got all the guys to finally sit. So I think we have a somewhat really put together family photo coming up in one of these.
Just me staring at Levi.
Don't go anywhere. My eyes are in the back of your head. Yeah, I think you are kind of giving that look.
Yeah. I think, because at one point he was, I think, down this hill, and we had to convince him to come back up.
Yeah. Yeah, then we switched. I think Dad's holding him tight.
Holding him in place.
Yeah. Then I asked you two to look at each other.
Yes. And that's when, do you remember, Huxley got hungry, and so I started
you started breastfeeding him.
Mm-hmm.
And
which, again, is such a real moment.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, have you seen him? Does he nurse like all the time?
Doesn't miss a meal.
And then Dad was tickling. I think I loved how the sand was kind of kicking up there for a minute. Oh. I love this one so much.
That is pretty perfect.
I don't know which one you're going to print.
I don't know. All of them? I think I might do a gallery wall with all of these.
You need at least an album.
All of them, but
because it tells like a story.
It does, yeah.
Look at him, baby. But your dress here, oof.
Yeah,
so good.
And it is kind of sheer there where the sun shines through. It's perfect.
So then, I think we started looking at that way. The birds started to come.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to the bird behind you right here. Mm-hmm. So then that kind of started to gain their interest and something to look at. Look how wet Dad was.
Oh my gosh, yeah. His legs are soaked. And do you remember Lila's dress got wet here too?
That's right. She tried to cross the creek back over that moment. I wish she's like...
she thought she was sinking. Yeah, because Tom had brought her over and then he came back for me.
Do you think she felt like we were leaving her?
I don't know what it was.
That she came back?
Yeah, but she panicked and just went into the water.
She did, and it was freezing water.
Yeah. So that's why we had to break this blanket out for her.
Yeah, and then that's what she just cuddled kind of for the rest of this, which was still really, really good. We got a lot of shots of her in the beginning, but
she's such a snuggler, so
it was perfect then. Yeah, she was probably a little cold too.
That's a sweet.
That would be sweet. Mm-hmm. And then we go back to sitting, and breastfeeding, and that's when Brett kissed his head.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Melt my heart.
And then we started to move, just to change pace again. Sun was like almost gone right here. Yeah. Had you walking the top of these, looking all model-esque with your hair.
Well, I was just trying to get out of my face at this point.
So good. With your oldest and youngest right there.
Yeah.
Until you have number 5.
Oh gosh.
You said at the shoot, you said you were talking about it.
I know.
I don't even know what he was doing.
Oh my gosh.
Tickles. Love it. So, then we wanted to go, since the sun was going down, we decided that we're going to start crossing it, going closer to the water. And this is us kind of getting in this pose. And I actually don't remember putting this one together. Did we sandwich it? Talk about Oreo. Oreo.
Yes, and we said double stuffed. Do you remember?
Yeah, that was it.
And that's why both the boys got in there.
That's right.
And then we were like, why do they even make regular Oreos anymore? Why aren't they all double stuffed? And then we got in that whole conversation.
I had a conversation with a girl the other day about that, and she doesn't even eat the icing. She just eats the chocolate. I'm like,
oh, so she doesn't want double stuffed.
That's a sin.
That's crazy.
Double stuffed are the best.
Just perfect.
I mean, seriously. And then,
oh yeah, I remember this one with the birds.
And I made it to the water. Wrapping it out, the sun's. I love that one. Look at your hair. It's that perfect beach hair.
It is so beachy right there.
You're gonna have so many great shots of this kid, and and he wasn't like even there.
I know. He just came out at the important moment.
So this was kind of it. We said goodbye, or we were heading back to the car, and that's when we started doing these shots as the whole family started walking back.
Yes.
And I busted out my camera again. I was like, whoa. The light was so pretty, and then the way you're dragging the dress.
Because it was soaking wet from...
He was eating your hair. It was soaking wet, but it just looked so cool. And then the water had turned that really pretty blue. Yeah. I don't know why the other shot's not in. That's so weird. But the one I did edit, I finally viewed them, but you saw that one.
I did.
It was so good. But it's kind of that same feeling. And just had you like turn a little bit towards the leftover sun. Yeah. And then it was funny because Levi, now he wanted to stay in the pictures. Yes. Remember, he was down at the bottom, and you're like, Levi, get out of my picture. But this one, I think, was the first one I had sent to you. Not this one, but the one that I did edit. It was similar. And what was so important to you about that? I remember you really, really liked that picture.
Well, it was at the end of the shoot. And do you remember when you were taking these? I was like, I'm a mess. Like, this is not going to turn out. And you just see something that I don't see. Like, you have that. And so when I saw the image, I just couldn't believe that, like, that image came out of the mess of that moment.
I don't know why it wasn't labeled.
But it just felt like it captured my love for Huxley so well. Because we're just, I think here they are, just snuggling him and nuzzling him. Yeah, it's so, like, in such a beautiful place.
I love how he was holding her hair, too. Just everything about that moment.
Yeah. It's such a real moment.
Oh my gosh.
It was rolls. He was so chunky.
So good. Well, this was fun. Was there, and I guess go ahead.
I think what I would say is that, like I said at the beginning, Tom was expecting poses and smiles, and I think up to the time where we started having our pictures taken by you, we were used to going somewhere and sitting and trying to look like the perfect family, right? So when I look back on those pictures, I think, okay, we're all smiling and, like, were we happy in this moment? Like, I don't know. I remember there being jelly beans at the end of it, bribes, stuff like that. But when I look back at these pictures, it's going to just be, like, I remember these moments. Instead of, like, trying to be the perfect family, it's like, I'm going to remember how much fun we had on the beach. And
that makes sense.
Yeah. And so these just mean so much more to me than a posed, smiling picture.
That's true. Did you, what was your husband's response when he first saw the pictures?
He was very, I think just taken aback. Because he hadn't seen, we've never taken pictures like this. Yeah. He hadn't seen us just playing. And and that's so us, is playful. Like, we're always outside playing with our kids. And so I think he was just excited at how accurately represented we were in these.
That's awesome. Yeah. Did you show your kids some of the pictures? Oh,
yeah.
Did they have fun?
Yeah.
Did their child respond?
Right. Yeah. They loved them. They're like, look at me.
And,
they're excited to see themselves, but nowhere near the same reaction that Tom and I had.
Well, if you could, like, I guess, because this was your second shoot with me, the first one, I'm sure everybody will remember, is when you were pregnant with baby Huxley, with the clothesline, that iconic shot of you. Well, I think the best shot was you laying down with him. You couldn't see the clothesline with that. But since that was like your first kind of take on my kind of shooting and a lot of current photographers' way of shooting, like, was that different for you?
Yeah. Very different. And I think...
Were you uncomfortable the first time?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that first time, because you were like, just play with them. And I was like, but when I'm playing with them, I'm not going to be looking at you and smiling and looking my best. So, but then once I saw the result of what you had us do, like I just had so much confidence in that method. Like, even though you don't feel like you look good, the images come out and they're perfect. And they do look good.
I can understand, like, especially if you're not in that industry of, like, what that looks like of, no, your hair's absolutely messy, you got sand everywhere, your dress is full of 100 pounds of sand, but you look fantastic.
Yeah, like, I just don't have that vision at all. So, just the fact that once you do see it, like, I'm not behind the lens, so I don't know.
But that's, it makes me so happy. And I love that you're not in the industry, so that you had, like, an honest, like, takeaway from our first time. Because I remember that session, and plus it probably didn't help that you were pregnant and it was in the summer and it was hot.
Do you remember how hot it was? I was sweating. At one point we had to put my hair up into the high ponytail because it was like sticking to my face.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, and I gotta be happy with 3 kids.
And I think that's like that shot that you're talking about where I'm laying down, it was like a break for me, honestly, because my kids just came up and they were calm.
Yeah.
And it was just a break in the chaos. And I think that's why that moment was so beautiful, is because it was rest for me.
That's a good word.
I need more of that.
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, we're going to wrap this up. So I just want to thank you for coming on. And this was a really cool just sounding board of hearing both sides of that. And that was awesome. And you got to see your images for the first time.
I know. And they're beautiful. Thank you so much.
Okay. I'm going to end this now. Bye.